spooky. It's spooky.
Hey there, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Pastatime with the Scaryish Podcast.
Woo!
I'm Robin Grace. This is Adam Diaz. And
Hello.
today we're here with another
It's
handful of
spooky.
homegrown horrors to read you folks. Adam, why don't you tell the lovely spooky friends what those are?
We're actually not reading homegrown horrors for this episode.
Shit, you're right. They're pasta times. I said pasta times. I meant creepy pastas. Adam, tell us what creepy pastas are.
Creepypastas are fictional, short, usually horror stories that have been written, and placed on the internet in various places. Places like creepypasta.com, the No Sleep subreddit, the SCP Foundation, and sometimes they're original stories that have been sent to us by you, the spooky friends, which we sincerely appreciate. We have 2 of those out of the 4 stories we're going to read this evening, in fact. Robin, if someone had a story that they have written and they would like shared on the show, where can they send them?
You can send them to pastatime at scaryish.com, or you can go to the website, fill out the contact us page, and it sends an email to us that way. We also have different social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And yeah, we get stories from everywhere. So hopefully we get your creepy pastas too.
Indeed. So like I mentioned, we're going to be reading 4 of those this evening. Robin, did you want to start or would you like me to start?
You can start.
All right. So let me mark this really fast. Fair warning, I have a cold. It's not allergies. I took Allegra. It's still here. Totally sucks. It is what it is. So I apologize for any of the sniffling I will do this episode. It will be annoying. And again, I'm sorry about that. But you can't be mad at me.
Medicine.
What's that?
Did you take cold medicine?
I don't know if we have any Dayquil in the house. Someone chugs it every time they have a fucking sniffle. So that said, you can't be mad at me. It's already been mentioned in the chat. It is my birthday. So it's kind of funny though, because anytime I have a birthday on a Wednesday, I'll be doing the show. But that also means that the Friday in which this show releases is Friday the 13th, which is pretty nice.
God, hey. Okay,
So
cool.
fun stuff. But all right, let's go ahead and get into our first story of the episode. So I'm going to go ahead and get into our first story of the episode. And this is going to be one of the ones that was sent to us by a listener. This one came from Bex, and it's titled The Door, a short story for pasta time. All right. Thank you, Bex. Here we go. The floor creaks as I hobble down the stairs. My tongue desperately clings to the roof of my mouth, begging for even just a drop of water. The cabinet where the glasses are supposed to be housed is empty, and I shuffle my dehydrated body to the dishwasher. With the cherished cup in hand, I totter over to the fridge to get the prized liquid. The tiny bulb in the water dispenser springs to life with a slight buzz when I press my glass against the switch. The low light it casts illuminates the dark kitchen. It clinks against glass, and my tongue darts out of my mouth, hungry for the cold liquid.
You know, the most horrifying part of this is they went to the dishwasher, pulled the glass out, and didn't fucking empty the dishwasher.
I mean, I'm imagining it's the middle of the night because it's completely dark, so who the fuck would empty a dishwasher in the middle of the night? Oh, wait, I already know the answer to that question. Yes, folks, it's Robin. She is the queen of the midnight, let's put away the dishes, which, in honesty, in the end, is always worth it. So, all right, let's get back into the story. Water fills the spaces between the small, frozen cubes in a slow, steady stream. Once the cup fills, the kitchen falls into dark. I squeeze my eyes shut once, twice, 3 times to adjust my eyes to the sudden shift. My throat squeezes as I bring the cool glass to my lips, tongue posed on lower lip, hungrily anticipating the sweet, wet nectar. But just before the beverage pours down my throat, a deep, unshakable feeling of dread washes over me. Stronger than the thirst in me is fear, and my body shakes. Every follicle has puckered. It's a fun word.
Okay.
All sounds but the shaking of my breathing die. From behind comes a soft, warm breeze, almost like hot breath on my neck. But despite the heat, all warmth rushes out of me. My hands tremble as I shiver.
It's spooky.
I always forget when we're in this particular setup, I can hear the notifications when they come through, and it definitely freaked me out. My hands tremble as I shiver, and the glass slips and shatters in a crash, disrupting the deafening silence. Nothing but my trembling body moves. Water pools at my feet. Glass and ice become confused. What was once a warm breeze grows into an overbearing heat. Sweat pools on one side of my body while the other side seizes both in fear and the chill of the night.
I'm waiting for the twist.
I'm waiting too. It's like, did your dog catch you and you dropped a glass or something like that? The sweltering heat grows and grows unbearably until I slowly turn, my backside now bathed in the cool it craved, while the front faces a hellish heat. At first, I don't know where the heat is coming from. Nothing seems out of place. There is no smoke, no flames. There are no windows open. But then my eyes glide over the door. It's not an unusual door. In fact, it's about as normal as a door could get. The problem is, it's not supposed to be there. I've never seen this door in my life. Where it sits is supposed to be the wall I kept bare to hang paintings. I stepped towards it, the heat only growing, my body now completely enveloped in it. I place my hand on the doorknob, expecting it to burn my skin. Just a dumb thing to do. You never want to put your hand on a doorknob if there's like a fire behind it. But
Use
it's
the back of your hand
exactly
to feel the door, not the knob.
You crawl out because smoke rises, because hot air is... Okay, we all know this. We all learned this as a kid. I'm glad we all remember it. Good job, everyone. Expecting it to burn my skin, but it's cool to the touch. By now, curiosity has quashed my fear, and I painstakingly turn the knob and pull the door open. Pause. I'm sorry. Again, my expectations are dashed. Instead of a portal to hell, or the tunnel of terror from Willy Wonka, the door opens to a staircase leading down. But for some reason, the staircase feels just as, or more, terrifying than the alternatives. But even knowing that, I still start forward, as if beckoned by some unknown force. Once my foot lands on the first step, I am unpleasantly reminded of the dehydration that called me out of bed in the first place. My tongue finds my cracked lips and wets them before pulling itself into my chalk-dry mouth. My throat itches with a cough, and as it leaves my mouth, the sound gets swallowed in the carnivorous, the cavernous stairwell. I become determined to go back to...
Hey, it could be carnivorous.
Yeah.
Maybe the stairs are eating them.
You never know. I've decided that if I need to wipe my nose, which I of course need to do again. In fact, I'm going to blow my nose this time. I'm just going to spin around, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone hang on. Turn around. Everyone turn around. I'm going to turn off my mic so no one has to hear this. Except Robin. She'll hear it.
Well, it's not that bad, actually, when you're turned back around.
Okay, that should hold me over till the next story, hopefully. This cold is brought to you by Secret Labs. I hope you enjoyed the back of my chair. All right, let's get back into it. Chalk, dry mouth. I become determined to go back to the kitchen and get a glass of water before exploring what lay ahead of me. But having slight issues over here. The stream deck froze for a second when I was trying to mark it and like turn my microphone off.
Man, if we had a Steam Deck, that'd be so cool.
I mean, I'm on the wait list. I was supposed to be on the first wave, but they pushed me back until Q2, which it's a month and a half left of that anyways. All right, they want to go back to the kitchen. Something pulls them down. All right. In fact, the harder I tried, it seemed like I was actually moving down the stairs and not back up into the kitchen. Yes, the whole time I was trying to turn around and walk back into the kitchen, I was actually walking further into the mouth. Now 6 or 7 steps deep, the light on both ends is entirely put out. What's worse is with every step, my dehydration grew. Now, lightheaded and dizzy, with a migraine that had formed out of nowhere. I can't be sure if my vision is gone because the room is dark, or because the black spots in my eyes have crowded out any light. My body is weak, and my joints are tight, longing for water. For some reason, I feel deep inside I have to get to the bottom of the stairs. I know I can find water there. My foot leaves the step, and it was on... Nope. My foot leaves the... God damn it! My left foot leaves the step it was on and moves to the next. A wave of nausea compounds with the pounding in my skull, and I crumble to the ground, tumbling 4 or 5 steps. My skin pulls taut against my bones as the moisture leaches out of me. I am now only 2 steps from the bottom. I don't have the strength to pull myself up, so I drag myself down. My heavy skull bangs against the first stair as I near my destination. My body shudders on the last stair. Skin paper dry. Got it. Skin paper dry.
Paper dry.
There's no comma. Skin paper dry and hair pulling against my scalp like a mummified corpse. I can't even blink my eyes because the moisture has fled them, and I feel them pulse and bulge with every pound of my skull. Then I hear it.
More.
Yeah, you should have seen Robin's face when I said the word bulge. The telltale burbling of rushing water. I feel the cool breeze that rushes off a body of water, smell the damp grass and moss. With the very last of my strength, I pull myself off the last stair and towards the oasis, and as I do, my body cracks. My skin, like tissue paper, dissolves in the wind. My bones, like sedimentary rocks over years, erode to dust and get carried away. My muscles and organs shrivel and turn into hard stones, left to the elements. The water covers me, and above me, a door slams shut. That's obviously the end. It's kind of weird. It's how I feel when I'm laying in bed and I'm thirsty in the middle of the night. Like, I feel like I'm going to die of thirst. It's like amplified to the nth degree. And I actually really like it.
But are they walking into hell? And hell is like that water level?
I wouldn't call that hell. I think they just wind up going somewhere else, and when they get there, it's like they finally get water, but they're like, sounds like at the bottom of a river or something like that. So it's just really odd. But overall, I actually liked it. So good job, Bex.
There's someone at the top of the stairs to shut the door is weird.
I think the door shut itself after it had claimed its victim. But shout out to you, Bex. Thank you for writing that in.
The stairs are carnivorous.
I mean, kind of, yeah. They went back to nature, though, in the end, so it's good stuff. All right, let's look over into Stream Chat, see what you wonderful folks had to say. I'm going to read redemptions first, and then we'll get into all the things that you guys have said. Shout out to Rice Noodles 07 for following us over there on Twitch 3 days ago. Shout out to Cursed Wolf, who resubscribed for the 40th month. Shout out to Latrea, who resubscribed for the 5th. Said, hello, 5-month anniversary. Hey. Shout out to Lisbetry for resubscribing for the 12th month. Says, 1 year being a sub. Woo! Also, happy birthday, Adam. Thank you so much. We appreciate that, especially me. Shout out to Donosaur, who resubscribed for the 12th month as well. Said, woo, 1 year. Shout out to Red Keto for redeeming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the drinks tonight. They have all been redeemed. Shout out to Chloe for redeeming a high five. Robin, ready, set, 5. Horrible timing, but it's okay. We're over the internet. There's not a whole lot we can do on that one. Shout out to Glitch for resubscribing for the 33rd month. Shout out to the Snark for resubscribing for the 37th month. Said, hey y'all. Shout out to Laura Ann for resubscribing for the 31st month and said, woo. And that is all our redemptions. Robin, what are you drinking tonight?
I have an Arizona iced tea. Hold on, let me get a drink.
All right. I have 0-calorie sweet tea mixed with the tiniest bit of rum. Because I'm not feeling well, but I wanted to have a little bit of a drink on my birthday. Because I'm a grown-ass man. and I can birth my days. Because that's how the phrase goes. Because everyone says that phrase, I can birth my days. All right, going to scroll to the top of the chats. Shout out to Enzo Matrix, who was here plenty early. 27 minutes early, in fact. 17 minutes early. So good evening / morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a Scaryish day. I know Malum is going to with that birthday. It's been all right. I mean, I just treated it like a normal Wednesday. If I was out in California, I'd probably do more. But I'm back home, so I just went to work. I had meetings all day. When I was done, my mom was like, what do you want for a birthday dinner? And I was just like, I can't go anywhere because we have the show, so how about something quick? And because I haven't had it in so long, she got White Castle, because there's a new White Castle in Las Vegas that's not on the Strip. And it was what I wanted, and just like every other time I've had White Castle, when I was done eating it, I deeply regretted it. So that's been my birthday so far. Actually, it's been pretty good. I just kind of want to chill out and rest and not feeling the best, but yeah. Chloe Michelle says, woo, when she joined us. Captain Fake Eye is also here. Gonna keep scrolling. I am Beef Trainer is here. I'm What's for Dinner is here. It's wonderful to see all the folks rolling in. Liz Patrice says, happy belated birthday to Captain Fake Eye, unless I have the wrong date on my calendar. Captain Fake Eye's birthday was May 8th, so shout out to Captain Fake Eye, and happy belated birthday to her as well. Yeah, the Battle Royale thing didn't work. It says there's a problem with our token, and I was just like, it's too much to fix it, and I just started the stream. The sound was completely on me. To take a peek behind the curtain, I have two scenes that are identical. One has the intro music, and one has the idle music, which you guys are used to listening to while we wait for 5 minutes. When I switch from the idle music to the intro music, it stops one, plays the intro music, which is only like 12 seconds long. So when the intro music is done, if I leave it on that scene, it looks identical to the other one, which is what I did because I'm dumb, and there's no music because it only plays for 12 seconds. So if you were here at the very beginning, you probably still didn't hear anything because I had it on there for a while. Of course, she's going with Tennessee Honey. That's Robin's go-to move.
Y'all, we don't have anything else here, okay? We don't drink a lot, and I don't plan on buying like a whole bunch of booze.
That's 3. That does not taste good. Oof.
The thing with Tennessee Honey is no matter what you put it in,
tastes like Tennessee honey.
Everything just tastes like Tennessee Honey.
All right.
Pour some tea. All right.
What's here says Gemini gang for the win. I'm more of a Taurus guy because I am a Taurus. Also, I have so many friends that are Tauruses. Captain Fake Guy's a Taurus. We're the best. Chloe says, I love Taurus. Totally not just you. What's here says, no sound. Video also keeps freezing on my end, but I think that is our ISP. Sound was definitely on me. The ISP thing is, yeah, for sure, because we haven't dropped a frame, so I'm going to keep scrolling. Also, the countdown timer. 6. All 6. Not all at once if you don't want to, but they have all been redeemed. The countdown timer skips seconds every now and then. That program is not the best. So sometimes that'll happen. You don't always have to worry about it being your stuff. All right. Captain Vega says, thank you. It was my birthday on the 8th. Says, just turned 32 this weekend. 32 was pretty good for me. I think I was still working at Tesla at 32. God damn. It's been a long time.
32 is me right now.
Yeah.
For the next few months anyway.
Got 5 months of 32 left. I mean, this is my first day at 37, and so far it's been good. Ooh, I want to tell you all this. So I mentioned this before, but I started a new hobby. I ordered the stuff to start a new hobby for making dice.
Oh, you have the mold right next to you?
I don't, actually, but you know what? At halftime, at the 1 minute break, I'll go downstairs and get it so I can show you.
All right.
So I ordered a pressure pot. My first pressure pot was refurbished instead of new, like I paid for, so I had to send that thing back. Long story short, forgot to send it back, left it in California. Robin's going to take care of it for me because she's an amazing person. But I bought another one from a different company that's more reputable, and it came. I tested it yesterday just by putting pressure into it, and I tested my air compressor that I've had forever. It's one of the giant ones I've had in my garage for like every place I've been in, and it worked. So I was like, okay, cool, it holds it. So I made my first mold last night, which I have not made a mold since high school, and you just rig something up so that you can have a dice basically floating in the middle of wherever your mold is. So as a popsicle stick, the tip of a pipette, hot glue to the popsicle stick, and hot glue to a side of the D20 that I was going to do, which of course you use the 1 because no one cares if the 1 looks bad because everyone hates it. It's the lowest number you can get. So did that. Everything went okay. put it in the pressure pot, pressurized it, left it overnight, opened it up at 4 o'clock today, and it came out perfect. And I was so happy. It was like my gift from the universe. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And after this, I might, if I have some energy left, I'm probably going to create my first dice by using the mold I have, taking some resin, mixing it up. And I'm going to do my first one. I think I just decided that I'm going to do it completely clear to see how clear I can get something without bubbles in it. And then I'll go from there and make, fun colors and things like that. I also need to make 6 more molds for all the other dice within the 7-piece dice set. But I'm very excited. So it's pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool when you showed it to me. So I was like, damn, nice.
I'm listener says,
nice.
32. I remember when I was that young. Indeed. Robin, I'll let you read some of this chat because my voice is starting to give out.
The Matrix says, happy belated birthday, Faye. I'm Beef Trainer says, 32. Seems like it was decades ago. To be fair, it was almost a decade ago now.
That was 5. I'll say that's 5 for me.
Oh, people were saying there was no sound there for a little bit, but you got it all fixed. Faye says, I feel like when I was younger, 32 seemed so adult, and I do not feel that adult yet. Same, I think growing up, I remember when my mom turned 36, I think. And I was just like, my mom is old. But now that I'm 32 and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how my parents, did everything that they did, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can't have kids, like I couldn't have had kids when I was 24, when my mom had me. I was like, there's no way. It's basically impossible. I can't. I can't take care of myself, let alone another human being, right?
It's very different compared to before. Like the way things were during our parents' generation versus the way things are for us now are substantially different. Some for better, some for worse. For me, I always thought of my parents as young, which is weird. I think everyone always thinks their parents is old. I thought of my grandparents as old. Like grandparents means you're old. Like if you're a parent, it means you're grown up. And I didn't think of that as old. I just thought it meant you're a grown up. And then I was a kid. But the one I remember where that all shifted was when my dad turned 40. Because his friends came and they put a bunch of signs in their yard that said Vince 40. And it was like these really professionally made signs. And when he got up to go to work, because, my dad's always worked on his birthday, he went outside. He's like, he was kind of pissed, but he was also like, you could tell he appreciated that someone drove out to the middle of nowhere where I grew up to stick signs in our yard to bust his balls a little bit. But it said Vince 40, and then underneath it said over the hill. And I was like, what does that mean?
Oh my
He's
God,
like, over the hill means like if a hill is your life, like going up means you're young. The hill is like the very middle, and then when you're on your way down, you're over the hill, which means you're old. I was like, oh, so 40 is old. So that's kind of what I've always thought of as old.
I am worried about getting older.
I am too. As someone who's 37, I can tell you that I'm trying to make sure that at 40 I feel younger than I feel today. So, and I'll go ahead and mention this too. I haven't really talked about it at all because I've just been trying to be quiet and private about it to see if it would stick, and I feel fairly confident at this point. But today I weighed myself and I lost 3 pounds compared to yesterday, which means I've lost 45 pounds since I've started working out. So I am pretty happy about that, and that means I'm on like the right path back to getting healthy. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I figured I'd just share that because it makes me happy. It's
You
not
make
as
me happy.
aw, you make me happy. Bob over there in chat says, I love SCPs. Maya in YouTube says, hello. What up, Maya? Thank you for joining us. Bunny Cake says, oh my, at Red Keto, making Adam's night difficult from the get-go. It's all right. Laura Ann says, Adam birthday. Latria says, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Bunny Cake says, woo, birthday boy. And then some Korean, which I imagine means happy birthday or something of the sort.
I barely know any Korean.
I am.
And it's not good.
And Beef Trainer says, our internet is having issues, so I'm what's internet is taking over. Convo for me. I'm still listening. Right on.
Aw, on over on YouTube. Did you read what he said?
I haven't scrolled that far. Or I scrolled past it on
happy
accident.
birthday, Scaryish Podfather.
Thank you so much. Glitch
says you deserve a drink on your birthday, Adam.
Thank you. Glitch says, woo, I am here. I had chicken fingers, lol. Nice. Last one. This is number 6 for me. I know I've taken not huge drinks, but I'm thirsty and not wanting to get drunk all at the same time. So
Joe over on Facebook says, this sexy hunk of man.
Joe, it was his birthday on the 9th, so everyone wish Joe a happy birthday as well. Lots of folks.
Joe?
Is it?
I don't know, Joe Martin.
Oh, no, different one, actually. I don't know when Joe Martin's birthday is, but what up, Joe? Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you, bro.
Let's see.
Also, my co-host on, what do you call it? Twats of Twats, my other co-host, is May 6th. Garrett is 6, Faye is 8, and I'm 11. So within 5 days, all the Twats of Twats
you guys were meant to be
hosts
together.
Yeah, we're all, that sounds weird. We're all meant to be co-hosts on that particular show, because Tauruses apparently are the biggest fans of Wheel of Time.
Faye says, OMG, OMG, dice making is so cool. Glitch says, I need some Adam dice. He's going to put a little piece of Adam in every single one.
That's a weird way to put it.
You should make one where you just drop some titanium dioxide, like the liquid drops into each dice, and just be like a little piece of Adam.
I'd test it. Some guy that I watch on YouTube did blood splatter dice, where you just take red paint and you like flick the paintbrush, and then for one of the dice he pricked his finger because he's diabetic and he has to take his blood reading, and he like just wanted to see what it would look like, and he was like, I'm not selling these aren't for sale, this is just an experiment. And like actual human blood doesn't look like human blood after it's been cured in resin, but like red paint does. It just looks brown. You know, it's like when blood dries, it has that certain look to it, but it just
911 girl says, hi, I'm on my 10-minute break again. Just wanted to say happy birthday to Adam.
Aw, thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Barb.
Lizard Tree says, I'm drinking my 5th 32-ounce cup of ice water. Woohoo.
Wow, that's impressive.
I just had a week like that
Um,
myself, so lots of peeing, and it was so much fun.
I'm a Sinner says, I saw D&D dice made out of rock candy, so if you get a bad roll, you can say fuck you and eat the dice. What the fuck?
I specifically bought silicone that I can use in molds that's food safe, so if I decide to make them out of candy, I can. And I also bought, I do. Just in case I do that.
Says, do it. I want to buy some homemade dice.
I have test tubes because I'm going to try and make some that I can store in these.
Them smaller, right?
These are for smaller ones. I will buy ones for the regular size dice, but when it came to the food molds, those apparently are more successful, especially for making gummies, if you don't try to make them full size, because I guess if you make them full size, the centers are always like not that great.
Goopy.
But yeah. So once I figure out my branding, it'll be something like Mad Scientist.
Evil on Facebook says, hi guys, look forward to this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello.
Glitch says, happy birthday, Joe. To the other Joe, not Martin Joe. The Snark says, Robin, tell him Justin says he's a bitch. Are you talking about Adam? Babe, you're a bitch.
Wait, I'm confused why he didn't just say that to me.
I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Joe Martin.
Oh, okay. Right on. That makes a whole lot more sense.
Did you guys work together?
Yeah, Joe's from Tesla.
Okay.
Joe is one of the few people in a den of snakes who had the balls to tell people they were full of shit when they were full of shit, and he totally had my back in a just shitty workplace incident where I wound up getting apologized to by people because he refused to go along with their bullshit. So shout out to Joe forever. You get a fucking cool pass from me until the end of time. I keep scrolling. I'm Western says that Honeycrisp cider is delightful. Honeycrisp are my favorite apples, so I imagine that they would be the best of my favorite apples. It would be the best of all the ciders.
All right.
Damn, you skipped ahead on a lot of stuff, but I get it. There's a lot of folks that are just saying happy birthday or congrats. So. I'm Western says Adam's dice always roll nat 20s. I did look at cheater dice that have 20s on the one spot instead of having a 1. It's just 2 20s. Yeah. So honestly, I've seen that the people that make dice a lot on the internet, when they'll roll until they get a 1 or a 20. If it's a 20, they keep it, and if it's a 1, they'll sell it. They roll 1s so frequently, it's hilarious. But all right, we're caught up on chat, so I'm going to let Robin take over and give us our second story of the evening.
All right. So I'm going to read. Wait. Dip, 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 dip. All right. So my next story here is titled "My Boyfriend's Dreams Are Starting to Scare Me" by Late Night Stories.
Interesting.
And not the kind that are on like Cinemax or HBO.
At that point, it's Skinemax. We all know this, Robin.
So it begins. My name is Harley, and I've been with my boyfriend Dan for 5 years. Lived with him for 3. I love Dan more than anything in this world. He's my best friend, my partner in crime, my biggest pest, and my #1 supporter. I honestly couldn't imagine my life without him anymore. We both work in food service industry. He's a chef, I'm a server. Food is his biggest passion, and while being a line cook doesn't pay much, it's worth it to see him do something he loves. Working in food service means we work some pretty weird hours. It's not uncommon for us to get off work after midnight, come home, quickly scarf down our dinner, then head up to bed and sleep around 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. I think it's 11 p.m. or 12 a.m.
Yeah, that would make sense.
11 to midnight, I'm going to assume. Dan has a much easier time falling asleep than I do. Most nights, as soon as his head touches the pillow, he's out like a light. I, on the other hand, struggle a bit more to settle my mind and get comfortable. This usually leads to me plugging in my headphones to watch YouTube or scroll through Reddit until I fall asleep, while trying not to move or make too much noise that would wake him up, though he's a pretty heavy sleeper, so I never have to worry about it too much. Dan has always been a very animated dreamer. He talks in his sleep every single night. Sometimes he even sings or raps.
Weird.
I want a refund on this boyfriend. Okay. When we first started sleeping together, he would speak so clearly, I honestly thought he was still awake. Sometimes I like to talk to him while he's asleep and tell him about the little nocturnal conversations in the morning. He also has a tendency to sleepwalk on occasion, which can be a bit worrisome. Also, refundable. Dan sleeps naked. Yeah, all right. And I can't very well just let him walk out of our apartment in his birthday suit in the middle of the night. You could, but then he'd probably get arrested for indecent exposure.
Yeah, for sure.
Recently, though, his dreams have been getting kind of... Oh, fuck. Recently,
hang on.
comma...
Can you imagine sleepwalking and waking up in jail?
I would be so upset, dude.
I'd be like, can someone please just tell me what I did? Like, I don't remember anything.
Imagine waking up in jail and you're just in a sack or something.
Imagine waking up in jail and you're covered in blood. Yeah, I just took it to the next level. Let's get back to that story. Sorry.
Recently, though, his dreams have been getting kind of odd. And when I say recently, I mean within the past year. It started with what seemed to be a few bad dreams. I always keep one earphone out just in case he says something funny, or if he gets out of bed and I need to hear. One night, Dad began tossing and turning and whimpering. Literally whimpering, like a scared puppy. Suddenly, he rolled over to me, his eyes wide open. His expression was terrified and frantic. "Harley?" he called out with a trembling voice. Oh, hold on. "Harley?" The fact that he didn't see me even though his eyes were open was enough for me to realize he was still asleep. Hey, it's okay," I cooed quietly and gently cupped his face in my hands. "I'm right here. Everything's all right." Dan let out a relieved sigh before snuggling against me and pulling my body tight against his. For the rest of the night, any time I moved, his eyes would shoot open again with the same frantic expression, and I would have to calm him down and let him know I wasn't going anywhere. I asked him about it the next morning, and he said he didn't remember a thing, though he said he had a really weird dream, but he couldn't remember what about. This went on for about 3 days. The next 2 nights after that were calm, and I figured he'd just had a few bad dreams due to some stress from work. About a week after that, give or take a few days, something even weirder happened. We were laying in bed like normal when suddenly Dan just got up and walked over to our bedroom window. I pulled my earphone out and called to him. "Dan? What are you doing, baby?" At first, he didn't answer, so I called to him again. He then placed his finger on the glass as if he was pointing to something outside. "They're coming," he muttered. "Who's coming?" I was starting to get a bit worried, so I made my way over to the window to see what he was talking about. We lived in a second-story studio apartment on the side of a fairly busy road. It's not uncommon to see people walking or driving, even late at night. So that wouldn't explain what he was talking about. They want inside. Dan suddenly wrapped his arms around my waist in an almost possessive or protective manner. We can't let them in. I won't let them in. I won't let them hurt you. Though I was a little freaked out, I simply smiled and led Dan back to bed. Every night for a month after that, Dan would get out of bed and either walk to stand in front of our door or in front of our window. He would mutter something about not letting them in, or them getting closer, before I would pull him back to bed. Every morning I would ask him about it, and he'd tell me he had no clue what I was talking about. Nothing else seemed strange about him, though. During the day, he wasn't any more fatigued than usual. He didn't seem paranoid or scared. Everything was fine until he'd go to bed. One night, he jolted out of bed suddenly and ran for the door. I was worried he might run out, so I jumped up out of bed to stop him. "They're here!" he yelled in a panic. Before I could even ask Dan what was going on, he went on the defense. He started screaming at the door, telling them, quote-unquote them, to leave. They weren't allowed to come to him. They weren't welcome. With every passing minute, he seemed to become more and more agitated. "You can't have him," he yelled before punching a hole in the wall next to the door. "Daniel Thomas!" Screaming his name like that seemed to startle him awake enough. "Huh? What?" He looked around confused and then whined about his hand hurting. I led him to the bathroom, patched up his little gash. Nope.
How sweet of you.
Patched up the little gash across his knuckle, then led him back to bed. He was out like a light again as soon as his knees touched the bed. While he didn't talk the rest of the night, he still tossed and turned quite a bit. I was becoming steadily more concerned, as this didn't just seem to be a reoccurring nightmare. Whatever was happening was very real to him, at least. Whatever was happening was very real, to him at least. I tried asking him to see a doctor or therapist, but he said there was no purpose in wasting the money when he felt fine. I thought maybe I was just jumping to conclusions. Maybe I was just being paranoid.
That's a refund on the boyfriend moment. Something like that happens and they're like, I don't want to spend the money on a therapist. Like,
yeah.
Your hand should tell you need to, bro.
Until a few nights ago, when Dan suddenly sat up in bed. I was prepared to bring him back to bed from the door, but he didn't get out. He just stared into the darkest corner of our room, which is next to our dresser. "Dan?" "They're here," he whispered without moving. "They got in." His eyes were wide open and focused on that one corner. "Dan, you're freaking me out." Suddenly, that attention was turned to me. "They aren't of this world, but they're trapped. They're angry. They feast in the dark, but want to devour your light. Don't let them take your light, Harley. Don't let them. I won't let them hurt you." I could feel my heart sink to the pit of my stomach. His voice was so serious, and his eyes bore into mine. He pulled me close to him and pressed my head against his chest. I could hear his heart beating under my ear and tried to use that to forget about what he'd just said. Lately, though, I've been becoming more fearful. I've started seeing shadows move in the dark parts of our apartment. Our electric bill has shot through the roof from me trying to keep the lights on at all times.
See?
I haven't been able to sleep right because I keep having these nightmares that make me wake up screaming in a cold sweat, but I can never remember what they're about.
What's better, paying a therapist to talk to, or paying the electric company to keep all your lights on once shit pops off?
I don't know what's happening, but my boyfriend's dreams are starting to scare me.
It's a really good story.
Yeah. I'm curious as to what they are, them.
I mean, it's a really solid premise to kind of creep you out. I think when you end a story and it leaves people wanting more, that means that, one, you're a good writer, two, you have a great idea, and three, you should probably expand upon it unless it's something where it's like people want more for a conclusion. This seems like it's stopping at like after the inciting incident. If this were a movie script, like movie scripts usually like 120 pages, I'd say this is like page 35, page 40. Keep going. I want to hear the rest. I want to know what happens. Because maybe it's nothing. Maybe the paranoia from your boyfriend's crazy sleepwalking like fits has like seeped into your subconscious and is like spilling over into the waking world. Or maybe it's actually something and you can play off both of those where you think you're going crazy at first. Maybe the boyfriend stops having the sleepwalking episodes and then you're left alone with the things you're seeing like moving in the corner. And then eventually you realize it's real or it's not. There's so much you could do with this particular story. I actually really, really enjoyed it. So good pick, Robin.
Thank you.
All right. So let's go ahead and look over into the stream chat. There wasn't a lot of chat. I think it's because the story was good and very engaging. Then we're going to run a 60-second break, at which point I will run out of this office and go and find my dice mold so I can be a super nerd and show off my nerdy thing that I made. And then we'll move into our third story. So, I'm What's the Nerd said during the story, I call BS. If you're a known sleepwalker, I seriously doubt you would sleep naked. I think it depends on the person and how much they don't mind people seeing their dingle-donger. But it would make sense to not sleep in compromising clothing if you're worried you're going to, be sleepwalking around.
Right.
Bunny Cake says, I haven't woke up in prison, but I've woken up in a hospital covered in blood. I went to bed and woke up in a hospital bed. Apparently, I had a sleep episode during my paralysis and then went to have a shower where I fell and hit my head. That sounds painful and scary. What's Nerd says, that would be frightening and confusing. Faye says, ouch. Bunny Cake says, that was when I first started having narcolepsy symptoms, so it was confusing as fuck. My housemate at the time had to get me covered up and then drove me to the ER rather than calling an ambulance. The Snark says, if you have solar, it's not as bad on the power bill. LOL, I know a guy. That's true.
Yep.
All right, so we didn't have any redemptions during that either. So we don't have any redemptions to read.
All right, why don't you go run and grab your mold?
Okay, while I'm doing that, I'm going to run a 60-second ad over on Twitch. If you are watching on any other channel, you will not get it. If you are watching and you're on Twitch and you're a subscriber, you will also not get it, but we will be right back in 60 seconds.
Chunkster says, Robin, will you be doing any art for Mermaid? Maybe. Maybe. Get it? Mermaid. I've actually been looking at paints because I want to try to paint something. I owe one of my friends a Blathers canvas, like art thing, because I did an Isabel for my house. And I owe him a Blathers. So I'm going to do that for him before he moves. But mermaids, I don't know. I haven't sketched out a mermaid. I don't even know how to draw mermaids. What is mermaid? All I know is the Little Mermaid. But it just depends, right? I'll figure it out. But yeah, I don't know. I usually am too tired to do art stuff, but Anime Expo is coming up in July, so I'm trying to draw a whole bunch of stuff. I have some food themed items going on right now. So there's that. Hopefully you guys will think that's cute. Man, I gotta mail out a bunch of Patreon stuff. I mailed out some stickers. I ordered some bonus stickers for making everybody wait so long. So I'm gonna be mailing those out with the acrylic charms that I have too. So lots of stuff in the pipeline. Hello, welcome back.
Thank you. All right. So last night what I did was mixed up some Sorta Clear 37. There's a million different types of Sorta Clear. It's just silicone molds.
Oh, yeah?
Did not realize that it cures faster than most, and it's very thick. So after I did that, I read online, for beginners, you probably want to use something a little bit easier. So I was worried that my dice molds were going to come out like poop. So what you do is you take a single dice, and in this case I just took a D20, and you get a solo cup that is the shot glass size. I think it's 2 ounces. And then, like I said, you just take a popsicle stick, you glue your dice to a pipette, glue that pipette to the popsicle stick, and then put it in here so that it doesn't touch the bottom. So there's space, but it's suspended in the middle. And then I have a pressure pot that I let it cure in overnight. And what came out of this is this. And as you can see, it's clear, which is why I really wanted to get Sorta Clear. you can see where the dice sat. You can see that there's some space from the bottom. And if I hold it up to the camera, you can actually see through this the numbers, which is pretty fucking dope.
Is that like a regular size D20 or is that a large D20?
This is a regular size one. I'm holding it up to the wrong camera. I'm literally holding it up to the Discord camera. I was like, why isn't it showing properly? Because I'm stupid. That's why. So the focus is not right. But yeah, you can see. So, when you get done with this, you have to pull, obviously, out the pipette and the dice, which means you have to cut open one of the sides, which I have done. And so because of that, you have like this space right here. When you use this and you put resin in it, it can like kind of spill out the sides, which is called flashing, and you just have to kind of cut that stuff off. But if you use something like a solo cup and you have an extra one, you can literally use it to seal your mold to prevent flashing, because it's like tight in there because this is what it came out of. And then you just cut a hole in the bottom of it so that when you're done, you can just push it out. So I have to make 6 more of these at least, which I'm actually really excited to do. But for tonight, if I have the energy, which I'll be honest, I might not, I'm going to try and create my first ever dice, and I hope it comes out well. So thank you for indulging my super nerdy bullshit. I appreciate y'all. Snark says, that looks good. Glitch says, looking good. I mean, so far, so good. So
Snark says, OMG, I made out with a hot cosplayer at Anime Expo in 2007.
Interesting. I'm not sure where that's related to. I'm sure there was some chitter chatter about all the people Robin's made out with when I was gone. So I'm actually wondering. I thought you were going to bring up what you think that might be related to.
I brought up whatchamacallit.
Anime Expo.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Laura Ann says, super cool mold. We'll buy item dice. All thanks. I'm What's Nerd says, oh, and if you're missing any fossils, I probably have a spare for you. I'm What's Nerds are always offering help over there on the Nintendo Friends channel on the Discord. So good stuff. All right. Should we move into our third one?
Yeah.
Coolio. Let me mark it, and we're going to do that. We're going to do just that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move into... Nope, hang on. Robin, if you could vamp for a minute, I'd appreciate it.
Okay. Do you got to blow your nose again? Dirty boy. Yeah, you blow that nose. So hot. Oh, yeah.
Of all the times for Robin to freeze, that's a pretty good pose. The internet over there is very inconsistent, which is unfortunate.
Sexy. Yeah, that's pretty gross. In June, that's fucking... it's actually like...
All of her audio is catching up all at once, and it's hilarious to hear. It's like, sexy, pretty fucking gross. And now she's back. That was amazing. All right, thank you for that vamping. Appreciate it. Snark says, Adam and Robin's kawaii half room. I mean, this whole room is just filled with a bunch of super kawaii shit, and then like Wheel of Time books, the 5th season books, and then Lord of the Rings illustrated books. There. Okay, let's do this thing. Thank you for trying to vamp. You did a good job. I could tell by all the audio that came through once your internet caught up.
You're welcome. I tried.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move into our third story of the show, and this one's titled Coal Dust. This was written by someone anonymous who posted it to creepypasta.com. It goes like this. So, here I am, laying down on my stomach, helpless. Darkness.
There you are.
Darkness stifling both my thoughts and cries for help. I was too deep underground now, all sound drowned out by the earth. With my last moments ahead of me, I began to reflect on how the hell I ended up in this position. It's that whole, I bet you're wondering how I got in this situation, opening. Damn it. Stupid sniffles. I had recently received a tip-off to investigate a small town in northern England. It was a minute, silent town that hardly manifested on any map I could get my hands on. The history of this place was as obscure as itself. The only background information I had received about the location was the construction of the power plant that was finalized in the early 80s before the town had heavily relied... Nope. In the early 80s. Before then, the town had heavily relied on coal from its coal mines in order to keep residents warm during hard, grueling winters. However, the most striking news that seemed to plague the town was the various reports of missing people and the supposed continued operation of the coal mines despite its long ago shut. It's very oddly written. Despite its long ago shutdown. Accounts of thick, black smoke slithering from behind the gray ridges that tore along the horizon from across the fields that surrounded the town.
That comes out of Adam, too, whenever he has gas.
I hate you. Although I could not fathom a connection between the missing persons and these reports of the redundant coal mines operations. I needed the money desperately, so I ventured into this town with the intent to investigate these suspicions of missing people. I started with the most appropriate place my mind could conjure up, the fields. These fields stretch for miles, scarred with snaking paths that cut straight through the tall grass and marshland, all extended towards the ridges. I had also been warned beforehand of the marshes that were highly prevalent in the fields, and with this in mind, I set off on my investigation on one of the paths that had been mulched into a slick mud by various people, probably hikers. This seemed like an idyllic, scenic place, with the right weather, of course. At this moment in time, the skies were overcast and gray. A miserable blanket draped over the sun that had seemed to have disappeared. The majority of my journey was uneventful. The same images of tall grass, gangly trees, and rising hills crossed my vision for hours. That was until, through random chance, I had somehow wandered onto a path that seemed to be untouched, only a subtle 1 meter wide line that I considered to be a path. I had probably wandered onto this trail whilst my mind was also wandering. With a heavy sigh, I scolded myself for not being more attentive, reminding myself of the warning of the marshes the locals had given me. It seems like one of those situations where you actually might come across quicksand, but it's really just like super stupid. There's super gross mud that can just suck you down.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sorry.
Are you?
I am. With a newfound caution, I prepared to turn back, which was when something very odd struck my peripheral vision. It was a splash of color that prominently stood out from the generic green grass. It was sky blue. Whipping my head around to focus on the out-of-place object, I saw it was a long-sleeved shirt. The color hadn't been as vibrant as I first thought. The blue was darkened and made dull from what I predicted was years of exposure to the elements. But why was this here? It looked like it belonged to an adult and also looked like it had been here for a while, with streaks of grime soiling the wool material it was made out of. I didn't touch it. I just stared with curiosity slowly building inside my mind. I simply lifted the lens of my camera and snapped a quick photo. The faded trail beckoned me onwards. Perhaps there were more items of interest further down this path. I continued onwards and discovered more carelessly strewn about clothing, but they did not seem to belong to the same person. All were of different...
Sexy orgy party.
I was going to say, like, these people got really excited for this orgy way too soon, and this happened a long time ago, apparently, and that's where they all went missing. It's like just a giant orgy in a tar pit, and they all sank to the bottom, which is unfortunate. Problem solved. Mystery unraveled. All were of different sizes, some seeming to belong to younger children. I'm glad we got the orgy joke off before that line came in, and others to larger individuals. I took a photo of all I came across. I suddenly became aware of the rapidly setting sun around me. It was getting late, and I needed to turn back. I found nothing else and began to return to my starting point. Speaking of which, where was I? I was perplexed as I glanced behind me, only to notice that there was no longer a path behind me, only tall grass and lines of trees appeared. I began to walk aimlessly, attempting to find some noticeable feature that would allow me to make my way back, but there was nothing. Around me appeared the same mundane patter of trees, grass, and hill. Panic began to swell as the encroaching darkness crept in, with the sun dipping below the evening clouds. This guy uses commas instead of periods in a bunch of different spots, and it's very frustrating. Panic began to swell as the encroaching darkness crept in. With the sun dipping below the evening clouds, I decided to climb upwards to try and gain an idea of where I was. I reached the top of a grassy knoll and searched around me, scanning for a route out of these fields. I did find something, but it was not a route. My eyes fell upon dark columns of smoke rising towards the murky heavens. With disbelief infesting my mind, I began to ponder, was it really true? It couldn't be. I dismissed the thought. I had to focus on getting back. Then again, the columns seemed to intrigue me, and like I said, I really needed the money. My feet began to stagger towards the columns, sluggish with fatigue. Now I was no more than a fish caught on a fishing hook, and I had taken the bait. I'm gonna get a little sippy. Need a little fuel.
All right. You do you, boo.
Yep, it's all sitting at the bottom. Gross. I'm gonna
I
mute
still
my
have
mic
to
and
drink
blow my
water.
nose. BRB, everyone talk amongst yourselves.
I forgot that only I can hear you. That one sounded like a car horn.
Thanks. The whole talk amongst yourselves thing really meant, can you vamp while I turn around in my chair?
Oh.
But it's okay. I should point out, while we're on this quick break, while I blow my nose, the Joe I was referring to earlier has joined the chat. And he said, has anyone dropped the happy birthdays yet? Happy birthday, Adam. Lots of folks have.
Belated birthday, Joe.
Thank you so much. Also, now everyone can wish the proper Joe a happy birthday. So
Not that Martin is not the proper Joe.
he's just not the one that deserved the happy birthdays. He just deserved the, hey, what's up? You're an awesome human being. This new Joe is also a human being whose birthday was May 9th, so happy belated to him. He's another Taurus buddy. And the happy birthday Joes are starting with Glitchgrim. All right, I'm going to get back into the story now that I've regained my composure a little bit. All right. I began to draw closer to the smoke as they loomed larger in the sky as I gradually made my way towards them. Just a helpful hint for anyone who's writing. The start of your sentence and the end of your sentence shouldn't say the exact same thing, just in slightly different words. Like, I draw closer, made my way towards them. Completely unnecessary. I'm going to take out my red pen and strike off the end of that sentence. Just a little closer. Not long now. That was when I just noticed... Sorry, there's a motorcycle. So annoying. He's going slow. I'll give it to him. He's not trying to be obnoxious. We recorded the topic episode on Monday, and I had someone go by just full throttle residential area 2:30 in the morning, and it was so frustrating. All right, just a little closer. Not long now. That was when I noticed the noise that had been hiding amongst the background chorus of chirping birds and rustling autumn leaves. It was subtle, yet it grew louder and louder as my weary steps came even closer to the smoke. It was a low rumble. My mind immediately jumped to the idea that this was the mines in operation, yet I knew this was impossible, for they had been shut down a long time ago. Tucking this thought into the back of my head, I continued going towards the black smoke. I had been traversing the field for hours with no change of scenery to bless my eyes. It was the same grass everywhere. That was, until I clicked onto an abrupt change in the land. The green terrain withered away into an asphalt-colored landscape. I had reached my destination, the former coal pits. A flat land stretched out in front of me. I jogged to the edge of this flat wasteland only to observe a large crater with openings in the side. It was obvious what this was. I had also just realized that the smoke had ceased, as did the rumble. Bizarrely, I had the idea of searching one of the mine shafts. That is bizarre and dumb. Looking back on it now, it was a foolish idea, yet I still followed through with my idiotic plan. I'm glad you can acknowledge that this plot hole in the story is dumb. Cautiously, I made my way down. I'm glad this is written by Anonymous because I'm feeling bad now for talking so much shit about it. Cautiously, I made my way down the side of this crater toward one of the openings. It was obscured by thorns and vegetation and barely visible. I decided to crawl through a barely noticeable gap in this wall of vegetation. With great effort, I pushed my body through and came out the other side in pitch blackness, covered in scratches and dirt. Tapping into my resourceful side, I illuminated the place with my camera flash. At the very least, it would give me a concept of where I was. Raising my camera, I clicked the button and the bright flash covered every inch of the shaft. I was now in. It revealed to me ashen gray walls supported by wooden beams that had, surprisingly for their age, not been rotted. In fact, they appeared new. as if somebody was still maintaining them, but how could this be possible? Searching the walls with my hands, I clawed my way around the tunnel, clumsily finding my way deeper and deeper. As I got deeper,
Tell me more about how you got deeper.
As I got deeper, a smell began to intense. This is not a word. As I got deeper, a smell began to populate the area, becoming more pungent as I descended. It became so strong that I began to gag. Heavily, almost vomiting, I realized that it smelled like something dead. My feet reached a level ground, and the descent had abruptly come to an end. Raising my camera once more, I activated the flash. I could have turned back then, and now I dearly wished that I had. I had discovered where the missing people went. I saw piles of corpses stacked on top of one another. Their clothes were torn and shredded. They were dragged down here. This was made evident by the scratches and cuts visible on their skin. An incinerator was next to this horrifying sight. Reaching out with reluctant hands, I touched its surface. I immediately leapt backwards because I discovered it was hot. The source of the smell had also been discovered along with the bodies. Tears welled up in my eyes and stung as the smell intensified. The smell of rot. The coal dust my fingers made contact with countless times was not coal dust. Glaring at my shaking hands, I found that they were covered in not coal, but ashes from burnt bodies. I always found it odd how I discovered not a single lump of coal. Sure, it was abandoned long ago, but surely that doesn't mean the coal source had run dry. There should at least be some trace of coal here, but there was nothing. Only coal dust, in quotes, lay here. That was when the realization struck me like a hammer to anvil, sending sparks of horror in my mind. There was never any coal. I now knew how the town was kept warm during the winter, and the thought sickened me. The locals were all deceived and given power, meanwhile their own kind buried down here. Now I moved on to the next thought that occupied my head. It was still in operation.
Bless you.
That one snuck up on me. Sorry about that. The climax of the story, and I have to sneeze. God damn it, dude. Having a cold sucks. And I just finished my medicine. That's the worst part.
Oh my god. Adam's face is saved in the perfect spot. Print screen.
It's your internet, dog. Just saying.
I need to post this. Hold
I
on,
hate
I'm
you
gonna post
so
it in the
much.
Discord.
All right,
Hold on, I'm gonna post this picture.
You can post it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the
It's
story
just-
so no one else has
it's
to wait.
amazing.
She can't hear me because her internet is garbage. I guarantee you that's what's happening right now. All right, I'm gonna try and finish the story. Robin is probably gonna interrupt when her internet catches up. All right, here we go. I now knew how the town kept warm during the winter, and the thought sickened me. The locals were all deceived and given power. Meanwhile, their own kind been. God damn it, dude.
What?
I just keep fucking this part up. Their own kind burned down here. Now, I moved on to the next thought that occupied my head. It was still in operation. It was too late when I came to this revelation, and blinded by shock, I had not heard the creeping footsteps behind me. However, I did hear the words that froze the blood in my veins. More fuel for the fire, huh? Let me do another read on that. More fuel for the fire, huh? And that's the end. So,
Wow.
turns out this
All right.
town had a coal-powered plant that was actually powered by people and not coal, because that's how that works. But hey, it wasn't that bad, so I talked a lot of shit about it. I feel kind of bad, but overall, solid idea. Like, I get it, missing people, like they've all been murdered, they're all being stockpiled, their bodies would definitely rot pretty quickly, and you'd run out of people really fast. So not sure how this would be kept together, and how this small town is losing so many of its people and still managing to stay afloat. But either way, kind of creepy. So I'll call this a kind of creepy pasta. What'd you think, Robin?
A kind of creepy pasta? I would have to agree. It's just a kind of creepy pasta. I don't think it's like earth-shatteringly creepy.
I will say yours was much better. I really liked yours.
Oh, thanks.
So
I appreciate it.
all right, I'm going to go ahead and mark it. We're going to move into reading stuff and then our fourth story. Robin, if you want to tell me where you posted this thing that you posted, I can go show everyone.
It's in general.
Which channel?
In our Scaryish one. In the Scaryish one.
I hate you so fucking much.
It froze on that for me. It was great.
I fucking hate you so much. All right. Let's get Robin's camera readjusted now. Fun stuff. All right, so what did we miss? Marking it. I don't know why I'm marking it. We're on break right now. All right. Listener says Adam's Kawaii Corner coming in June. I'll probably
read that.
I'll probably name my thing something different. You did already read that.
Says I'm finally on A Memory of Light.
Damn, you burned through those audiobooks super fast. You listen almost as fast as Faye reads. Actually, it is faster than Faye reads. Faye's on like book 9 already. I'm very impressed. I read the thing that Joe stated when he popped in. Listener says, have you guys ever considered doing one long creepypasta for Pastatime? There are some good ones out there. Kind of, but people get really bored. We tried doing, I think, two or three for one of the episodes, and we did get some negative feedback that they just like sort of tuned out at one point. So,
which one?
I don't remember which Pastatime episode it was, but we did 2 or 3 instead of. I think we did two long ones. You did one, and I did one. But yeah, we got some negative feedback on that. But if we find the right one, I wouldn't mind doing it. Glitch says, guy logged into work and it was, hey, so much, so fast, lol. Oh my god, they were like, excuse me, Mr. Grimm, how do you computer? I hit the keyboard and it didn't turn on. That's hilarious. Joe said, thank you very much. Glitch said, bless you when I sneeze. Says, haven't seen such a masterpiece since the molestation of Adam. I'm not sure what that refers to, except for like every single time I sit next to Robin during a live show, so. All right. We have like no chat right now. Everyone's being super quiet, but it's okay. We appreciate y'all being here. It's good stuff. We have one more to go, and it is going to be one of the homegrown creepypastas. Robin keeps switching which arm she's leaning on, which keeps like uncentering her.
Haters gonna hate.
Okay, it doesn't really apply, but you ready to read your last one?
Yep.
I feel like I'm in a Zoom meeting right now. And it's that moment you realize, like, no one's paying attention to your presentation. They're just doing something else on their computer, because that's absolutely what Robin's doing. So. All
right. So I'm going to get into my last one. This was kind of long, actually. You said it was short, but it's pretty long.
They're short in comparison to the creepypastas we normally read, so.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. So this last one here is from one of our very own Spooky fam. And it begins, hi, Robin, Adam, and Spooky Mom.
Hello.
Spooky Mom is over there going, hello.
Hello.
I love your podcast. I've been listening religiously since 2020. Heck yeah. You're my go-to spooky pod to recommend, and I was stoked when you started doing Pastatimes. This is the first creepypasta I've ever written, and it's based on a scary story my friend and I wrote in middle school. I'm always looking for any constructive criticisms you might have. Hope you enjoy. With love from Finland, Ollie, which is they/them. All right.
Thank you so much, Ollie. We appreciate you sending it in.
The title of this one is Red Umbrella. I said red umbrella, but it's red umbrella. Okay. Amelie tried to scream. Her eyes were filled with tears and her throat was sore, but no sound came out. She wanted to go home. But as she looked over the broken body on the concrete floor, she knew she could never go home again. Amelie's eyes shined with excitement. Mommy, I want that umbrella. Amelie tugged on her mom's hand enthusiastically.
I feel like we just flashed back after that intro. It's like it went from seeing a dead body on the ground, and then all of a sudden they're looking at an umbrella and they're all excited. So if that is what happened, I'll feel good that I was able to follow it.
Right. It was perfect. The most beautiful umbrella she had ever seen. It was simple, just a bright red umbrella with a frilly trim. But Amelie couldn't take her eyes off of it. She had to have it. "Mommy, please," Amelie whined and tried to pull her mom towards the store. "Not now, Amelie. We're already late. Let's go." Her mom pulled her from the window and away they went. Just the perfect red umbrella was left to wait in the store window. I saw the girl with her mother. She was perfect, the most beautiful little creature I had ever seen. Her rosy cheeks and dark curls were so enticing. I couldn't take my eyes off of her. I had to have her. I feel like that's the umbrella talking.
Yeah, it's weird.
Amelie was still sulking when her bedtime came. Obediently, she ate her dinner and brushed her teeth, but didn't say a word when her parents wished her good night. Amelie hated her mom. She had really wanted that umbrella. But because her mom had been too busy, some other girl would get her perfect red umbrella instead. She couldn't bear to even think about it. She could hear her parents laughing at the TV downstairs, and she fumed. How could they laugh like that when they'd ruined her whole life?
Seriously, fucking pricks. Unbelievable.
Now, no one would want to be her friend because some other little girl would have the beautiful umbrella instead of her, and everybody would befriend her, and they would all laugh at her. Her being Amelie this time around. Amelie's thoughts were cut short by a sound at her window. She rose out of bed and looked out. It was dark outside, only one dim street light illuminating a sliver of the street.
Illuminating.
Amelie? Huh?
You said illuminating weird, that's all.
Well, let me redo it then. She rose out of bed and looked out. It was dark outside, only one dim street light illuminating a silver... Fucks, you made me fuck up. Illuminating a sliver of the street. Amelie squinted. Something was glistening in the rain under the streetlight. It was an umbrella. A red umbrella. Her perfect, beautiful red umbrella, Amelie realized. She perked up. Maybe she could get it. She knew she wasn't supposed to get out of bed, let alone go outside at this hour. And it was just laying there, abandoned. She would sneak out for just a moment, quietly. No one would even realize she'd been gone, and she couldn't resist the red umbrella, waiting for her, so lonely, so inviting. I knew she'd come to me. That's obviously the umbrella speaking. Amelie tiptoed down the stairs. She could see the glow of the TV and the quiet voices of her parents below the noise of the show they were watching. Amelie sneaked past the living room, through the kitchen, to the back door. She thought about getting her rubber boots, but she didn't want to risk alerting her parents. Hurriedly, Amelie unlocked the back door. It creaked as she pushed it open, and she waited. She listened, but the only things she could hear were the monotonous pitter-patter of the rain on the pavement and the muffled noise of the TV. No hurried steps or confused voices of her parents. She sighed with relief. She would only be gone for a moment. She left the door ajar and skipped across the muddy backyard. What if she didn't come? I wondered. I wondered if she could sense the danger and felt anxious for a moment, but I waited patiently. Then I heard the door unlocking and saw her tiny form bound through the backyard. She was coming to me. My Amelie. This fucking umbrella's creepy, dude.
Here's the thing about this story so far. I do enjoy it, and I think it's well written. There is a shift between third person and first person narrative, which isn't awful. There's nothing wrong with it, except that third person is omniscient or omnipotent, where it knows what Amelie's thinking, and then it shifts into first person, and the first person, for whatever reason, has like these internal thoughts. So it's like, why would the umbrella know? Or if it is a person, whatever, why would this thing know what Amelie was thinking in the moments where she was alone? So like the narrative hasn't chosen a voice. You know what I mean? It's kind of throwing me off.
Amelie pushed through the back gate and almost ran to the umbrella. It was finally hers, the beautiful red umbrella. She didn't have time to react when the man wrapped his arms around her and a big hand covered her mouth. She tried to call for help. She kicked and thrashed, but it was futile. Futile? Futile.
Can say it either way.
But that's fucked up. So this guy knew she wanted the umbrella, grabbed the umbrella, put it out on the fucking sidewalk for her to be like, yo, I want that umbrella.
So the first person is told from the kidnapper, it sounds like. And at this point, I reiterate, how did they know what Amelie was thinking? Because it's written weird, but I'm curious to see where this goes.
If you were on the street and you saw this kid like begging her mom for this umbrella, you know she wants that umbrella.
But like when she's in the house thinking about how she's mad at her parents, and then like when she sees the umbrella, like that's all told from third person. Just finish the story.
I don't think what she's thinking has anything to do with the person saying like, I knew she'd come to me. I think
that's what I'm saying. It's two completely separate narratives that don't mesh well together.
All right, Mr. English major.
It's just confusing. That's all I'm saying. Just finish the story, dude.
Oh, how she fought. I knew she'd put up a fight, feisty girl, but she wouldn't escape. Oh no, not from me. I heard her still struggling in the back seat under the tarp. She was finally mine, and no one would take her from me. Okay, so I want to go back to the beginning where she saw a broken body on the concrete floor. Amelie did. So something's going to pop off here. Something has to. Officer Gregory Wallace sat on his motorcycle, miserable. He was soaking wet and counting the minutes until the end of his shift. He saw the car with broken headlights approaching and perked up. Finally, someone to stop. He waved the car to pull over, and obediently it did. When the driver opened his window, Gregory recognized the face immediately. A wide smile spread on his face. "Mr. Arnold, heading for a fishing trip?" he asked genially. "You know it, Greg. How's work?" The old teacher eyed the sopping man on his motorcycle. Same old, wet, mostly," Gregory said. "No guns or anything else untoward on you tonight, Mr. Arnold?" he asked jokingly. No, you know me. Just my trusty old fishing rod and I." Mr. Arnold gestured. He had a bunch of bells, had a funny hat, started dancing. Mr. Arnold gestured towards the back seat and chuckled. "All right, then. You might want to fix your headlights, but I'm not going to ticket you this time. Have a good night, Mr. Arnold, and drive safely." The officer touched his cap. Mr. Arnold waved, and Gregory let the car pull away. It was exciting, the rush of getting away scot-free. Darren Arnold grinned as he pulled away from the unsuspecting officer. He knew he wouldn't get caught, but the thought of getting pulled over while having the girl in the back seat was enough to send his nerves into overdrive. He would never get caught, not in this town, not while everyone knew him as the trusted old headmaster. He drove into the darkness feeling invincible. Invincible. Amelie tried to scream. Her eyes were filled with tears and her throat was sore, but no sound came out. She wanted to go home, but as she looked over the broken body on the concrete floor, she knew she could never go home again. She knew she couldn't because the body on the floor was hers. Fuck! That is not what I was expecting.
The core of this story, that's the end of it, right?
No. And so her soul joined the choir of silent screams surrounding the quaint little cottage in the middle of the woods. And that's the end.
Okay, so the core of this story is good. It obviously had the idea for the twist, and it kind of works towards it. If it chooses a voice of just third person in general, it will work a lot better, just because it shifts from like third to first, from third to first, and then again to third for the officer, stays in third for the rest of the story, and then ends, you know? I think overall, though, it's a good concept, and it's definitely sad and creepy.
It's sad.
I would say that guy's a really shitty cop for just sort of
such a shitty cop,
letting this guy go and not checking on literally anything. Also, it doesn't describe whether or not she's bound in a way that prevents her from screaming, because it says that her throat is raw and she can't scream. But at that point, she's already dead. To me, that means, was she killed when she was taken? Did she get taken back to this cottage and was killed? Like, a little bit like iffy on when that happened and why she didn't try and get help when the cop showed up. Is he transporting her kidnapped or her dead body, you know? it's super morbid questions. But overall, I mean, it's a good story, and I think if you tweaked it a little bit, it would be really, really good. So, thank you so much for sending that in. I thought it was good. What did you think, Robin?
I thought it was good. It's very sad. I was not expecting that end. I thought maybe she would kill the bad guy, you know, something.
Yeah, I think that's where my head was going too. Like, she didn't think she could go back, and that her parents would be mad at her if they found out she killed someone. So, like, she gets kidnapped, kills her kidnapper, and then stays missing because she's afraid of the consequences because she's like a little kid. But instead, it's like, nah, dog, she's dead. And this guy's killed a lot of other kids too, apparently, because her soul joined this choir or whatever. That's like a really creepy and sad ending, but it's very well written. So,
yeah.
Right on.
So thank you so much for sharing that with us, albeit depressing.
Good stuff. All right, and that is the last one. So we're going to go ahead and move into marbles. There's not a whole lot of chat over there. Listeners stated that they're referencing the picture of Robin assaulting my hand while in Philadelphia. I forgot about that. Bunny Cakes.
Yeah.
Bunny Cake says, sorry, I keep falling back to sleep. Glitch says, oh yeah, I need to send you all that backroom stuff. These shifts have been killing me. My brain doesn't work. No worries.
Oh, yeah. Did you check the P.O. box by any chance?
I did not. I forgot about that. I will go check it tomorrow, though, because I definitely need to. I'm considering taking tomorrow off because I'm really starting to feel worse as the night goes on. But yeah, let me get marbles up and running, and then we will end the night with some races.
Races. Did you see that they're not going to show F1 races on Pornhub or something anymore? There's not going to be an F1 stream on Pornhub.
I didn't see that. I also didn't know that was something that they did.
Apparently they do. I don't know.
All right, let me get this screen up and running for everyone else. Switching over to it. All right, I'm going to adjust everything, but you can start your voting. ! Vote, then a space, and the number that corresponds with the track you would like to race. I'll get the screen taken care of, and Robin and I's camera taken care of as well.
All right. Is that annoying?
No.
All right.
All right.
All right. Damn it. Oh, maybe I have to blow my nose too.
My mom's also not feeling good. Maybe I should take a COVID test. I feel really bad if I brought that home.
You should.
Should feel bad or should take a COVID test?
Both. Let me turn on.
That time I forgot to spin around and mute my mic. I am sorry. I am disgusting. I apologize.
I didn't hear anything, so.
That's good. Hopefully no one else did either. I bet you they did, though. All right. Snark says, Adam, if you have COVID, can you spit in my mouth and call me a whore? LOL.
Ew.
Weird and no.
That's a weird thing to be into, my dude.
I know we have a standing rule of don't yuck someone's yum, but I will say for that one, a yuck.
So not yum.
Bunny Cake says, it was so cold here today, I just climbed out of bed and I regret it. Snark says, it's an ongoing joke to get PTO from work.
What's an ongoing joke?
The spit in my mouth thing.
Oh. That's so random. Like, that's just so weird. I don't know. That's definitely a yuck in my book.
All right, I'm going to vote the age I turned today.
Oh, shit. Did you fucking put 18?
Of course I did.
Lying piece of crap.
I'm only 18. I can finally vote. All right, let me get the prediction set up so that we can get that going once we're in the game. Who will last longer or rank better, Adam or Robin? Bunny Cake says, can't drink yet, though. You try and stop me. All right. Not a lot of voting. All right, Robin's going to pee real quick, everyone. Can you... Yeah, just go pee really quick. Junk says, but you can't drink legally, Malin. Yeah, I mean, if you're worried about the legal aspect of it. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and move into the dojo, which has 4 votes. It is, on average, 2 minutes and 36 seconds to complete it. Record time is 1 minute 53 for us, 2:29 to complete it, and our record time is set by Robin at 2:14. Let's jump in there. Y'all can get your marble on stream by typing !play. Also, you can predict who's going to finish better in this race or die last, depending on which one happens first, by using your channel points as your votes. And yeah, I'll start the countdown from 60 seconds when Robin gets back. But the voting is happening right now, and there's 90 more seconds on it, so toss in those votes. I'm going to vote on myself because it's my birthday, and maybe luck will be kind to me. We'll see how long it takes Robin to get back. Hopefully not terribly long. Got 14 marbles joined in. That is depressing. All right. Once Robin gets back, we'll do the 60-second countdown. As far as the voting goes, prediction has 20 seconds left on it, so don't forget to get your prediction in there.
What? I didn't even press play yet.
That's why we've all been waiting on you.
Oh. Thanks.
All right, Robin has joined us. There's 60 seconds from this moment to get your marble on stream. Only 15 marbles so far. All right. Also, we have our prediction set. 55% voted on me. 7 folks. 55% of the points were voted on me. 45% for Robin. The biggest chunk came from Lisbetry, who voted on Robin for 5,000 points. And Bunny Cakes and Chunkster tied with the biggest chunks for me with 3,000 each. Thank you for believing in me. I hope not to let you down. I also voted on myself.
Beep boop ba Oh, I didn't even. I'm not gonna vote. You know what?
I didn't expect your quick break to last longer than 2 minutes, and that's my fault, so I apologize for it expiring.
Sorry, it smells so good outside.
Like food-wise?
Yeah.
What's for dinner for Robin tonight?
Pasta and probably salmon. Or broccoli. I don't know.
Nice. Alright, it appears Lisbetry's in first place. It's kind of hard to tell based off of the weird way that you filter out of this level, but it does seem like that's the case. Latrea's in second. It looks like I'm hanging on to third. Is Robin in this? Oh, she's all the way back there. That's good for all of us who voted for me. Let's follow Lisbetry.
Snark asked if we've watched Doctor Strange 2. Yes,
we did indeed.
I have watched it 2 times.
Chloe has already fallen off the map, and Enzo Matrix as well. Lisbetry has a pretty healthy lead, but this particular area is definitely notorious for knocking people backwards. Enzo Matrix has fallen off. Latrea has now caught up to Lisbetry. Robin's Ghost Ball, showing the pace for the record, is now ahead of our leader, which is Latrea. Glitch is in second. Lisbetry's in third. I really thought everyone just shot straight up into the air. I didn't realize that it was a loop-de-loop right there. Lisbetry almost went over the edge. Glitchgrim did go over the edge. Latrea is still in first place. Donosaur has fallen off. A reminder that if Robin or I fall off, that'll be considered finishing
last.
Liz Petrie was in first place and then fell off the edge. And first place is now held by... there goes Robin. I've officially won this round on the betting side, and I am also currently in first place. Happy birthday to me. Latreia is in second, and then Bob, Bunny Cakes, and I'm Western and the Snarked are trying to make their way out of that funnel.
I really like Doctor Strange too. I don't know about you guys. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I enjoy the campiness of it, and it really helped going into it knowing it was directed by Sam Raimi, because he has a very specific style that was definitely prevalent throughout the movie, and watching it, I understood why some people didn't like it, but I did like it. Shout out, Bob has fallen off the map as well. Here I come on my birthday. I broke Robin's record, and I took first place, but you know who the real winner is? Latreia, because she took second place, which means Latreia is getting the prize. Don't forget to type !merch. It'll bring up a menu. Click on that. It'll bring up a link. Click on that. Go to Robin's Kawaii Corner. Find yourself a Scaryish themed sticker. Then reach out to us. Let us know, hey, this is the one I want. And here's where you can send it. I was trying to take a shortcut, and it actually might work. Just missed it. Here comes Cursed Wolf. Trying to take home some points for the season, and will with 5th place. And Laura Ann apparently did not make it in time. Nice.
Oh.
Congratulations, Latreia. I go up to 7 points on the season. Latreia's at 5. Bunny Cake's at 3. Snark's at 2. Curse Wolf is at 1. All right, we got one more race tonight. Go ahead and start your voting on it by typing !vote, then a space, then the number that goes with your track.
Vote. How old I wish I was.
Let me go ahead and distribute the points for those of you who believed in me. I'm going to vote for the age that I wish Robin was also.
Thanks. It's pretty romantic.
I thought so too. Lots of folks voting for 25. Right now it has 3 votes, it looks like. I believe that's going to be the House of Pain, which sounds kind of terrifying.
The House of Pain.
I'm Western Nerd voted for Castle Siege, which sounds kind of awesome. One of these days, maybe we'll do that. Junk says, like Snape says to me, always. Fair enough. This sucks. I was really hoping that I was just having allergies, but apparently not.
Did you take allergy medicine?
I did. I took it 3 hours ago.
Oh. Then yeah, it's probably not allergies.
Yep. Yep. All right. House of Pain only has 3 votes, so I'll let it scroll by one more time before we go with it, and that will be our track for our final race of the evening.
This very evening.
Glitch says, Robin, if you meet Connor, ask him if he brought his copium. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what copium is either.
I don't know who Connor is either.
Connor is Sea-Dog VA. He's going to be at Anime Expo.
Oh,
I'm so
gotcha.
excited. I'm very excited. I missed my chance to meet Shibuya Kaho, who is like in all his videos recently, because she was at ALA this year. And I missed my chance to see her and say hi to her. Like, I walked past her so many times, but it's like, you know how you have, I don't know, she's not an idol for me, but like, it's like someone you know is like famous, you know, and you're just like, I'm too scared.
All right, House of Pain is going to be the track we're racing. It takes 1 minute 52 seconds on average to get through it. The record time is 1 minute 11. Locally, 2 minutes and 3 seconds for us to get through it, and Latreia holds the record for us at 1 minute 28. So let's jump in there. I'm Western says, it's just a virus throwing you a birthday party in your sinuses. Yep, apparently. Glitch says, P.S. I am jelly. He says that a lot in his streams. I've never seen any of his streams.
Oh,
So
okay.
Bunny Cake says, it's 11 degrees Celsius. I knew it was cold, but
streams.
wow. It's not worth it being this cold if we aren't getting any snow. I figured you can read the things that Glitch said because it's related to what you're talking about.
Aw, Glitch says, if I got to go, I could meet y'all, and then I need to fly there. Yeah. I mean, we'll be at AX all weekend, so...
I'm going to get the prediction going, and again, it's who will finish better,
my nose is running.
me or Robin.
Me. This time, hopefully. But honestly, I don't know. I want to say it's going to be me.
It's gonna be
me. But it's probably not going to be me.
Alright, we only have 11 marbles so far. Dang. Pretty big fall off between the first race and the second race. Robin, are you in?
Yes.
Okay, we have 12.
We know there's more than 12 people out there. You put your balls in. Exclamation point play. Every time I look up, I keep seeing your face screen capped on the Discord. You're welcome. Oh, and Mary Tyler Moore.
Merrily?
I have that stupid Mary Tyler Moore. I drank too much, man. Do you like that song by Weezer?
Yeah. I like most Weezer
Oh.
songs, TBH.
Really?
Yeah. All right, we got 48 seconds left on voting for who will finish first, me or Robin, and there's 56 seconds left to join the race. And
Join the race! Exclamation point play and get your balls in the game. Get your head in the game. Gotta get you.
It's my favorite EA slogan: "Get your balls in the game." All right, it's my birthday, so I'm gonna vote on myself again, which has taken my odds to 72%. Robin's at 28, so a single point for Robin pays out at 3.5 points right now. So if you're gonna vote for Robin, you got a few seconds left to do so. 10, in fact. 20 seconds left until this thing starts.
My nose is just like, right. I took allergy medicine today too, but I only took one. I don't know if maybe I should have taken two.
What kind was it?
Is Allegra one?
It's
or two?
one. One for 24 hours.
Okay.
Pretty sure. At least the one we have is. Might be different for the one you have. All right. We are off. Let's see who gets out of this Plinko/Fanblade. Looks like Laura Ann and Bunny Cakes are leading the way currently. And I'm What's for Dinner is right there as well, along with Enzo Matrix and Donosaur. So let's follow the lead, which is going to be Bunny Cakes. Here comes that Fanblade to screw up everyone's timing except for What's for Dinner, who makes it through fairly successfully. Lisbetry is going on the other side as well. And dual Fanblades over here slows down What's for Dinner. Lisbetry is cruising through on her side, and cruises through both of them, in fact. Robin does pretty well on this side. We'll see who comes out of their
Thank you.
funnel and Fanblade first. Lisbetry fell through pretty quick. Robin did as well, but got hit by that Fanblade that's at the bottom and launched back up. Lisbetry is still in first place. Fanblade has sent Lisbetry slowing down, but splits him pretty nicely. You can see Latrea's Ghost Ball right there. Lisbetry is still managing to stay ahead of it and everyone else. Uses the Fanblade to get to the edge, just barely out of reach of being knocked backwards. What's for Dinner is in second place right now. We'll see how much that changes. Lisbetry just got launched forward by this Fanblade. They've been very good to Lisbetry this game, and I think as long as she doesn't hit any pulsating rods, she might be taking home a victory. And congratulations, Lisbetry, on your first place finish and Scaryish record-setting pace. If we're looking at who's going to finish between me and Robin, looks like I'm currently in the lead, but I'm only in Fanblade's number 1, moving to number 2. Robin is currently right next to me, and we'll see.
I'll always be right next to you,
That's romantic.
even when I'm dead.
That's terrifying. As long as I don't get launched off, it'll be a second time I've won the bet, and I have. It's been a good night for me. we'll leave the camera right here so we can watch everyone trickle in. Chunkster did take home second place. Bunny Cakes third. I took fourth. Dinosaur fifth. Snark sixth. Chloe was seventh. Bob was eighth. Looks like Robin's trying to beat Glitch out for ninth and succeeds, and Glitch takes 10th. Everyone else is just trying to finish without being hit by the wave of death. Latrea's current ball is way back there being chased by fire right now. Maybe the fan blaze will be kind and launch Latrea forward. And they did, in fact. This is pretty exciting stuff here. Let's see if they can make it out. They do. Wow, this is like a Hollywood movie right now.
If we were a movie, you'd be the right guy. Wait, if this were a movie, you'd be the right guy.
I have no idea what
I'd
you're
be the
singing.
best friend that you'd fall in love with in the end.
Even though you didn't
I'm pretty
finish
sure
with
it's Hannah
points,
Montana.
Latrea, you were able to escape the fire wave of death, and that was pretty impressive. But congratulations, Elizabeth Tree. Don't forget to type in ! merch. Chuck says, always believed in Adam. Thank you so much. I went to her and says, damn, just lost every point on this chick. She usually wins, so it was kind of safe. Okay, Latrea is up to 9. Excuse me, Elizabeth Tree is up to 9 points for the season. I am also up to 9. Looks like Bob is up to 5, Chloe 4, Snarks 3, Dinosaur 2, Bunny Cake 6, and Chunkster is up to 4. So, solid stuff. Thank you so much for everyone who participated in the races. And if you won, don't forget to type in ! merch and claim your prize. Let's switch us over to the regular camera. Robin's camera will be a bit fucked for a second, but I will take care of that.
Hell yeah.
No one worry. And she should be back to normal. And she is. So, we're going to go ahead and do the outro. And then I'm going to go take some cold medicine and probably just lay down for the rest of my birthday.
Right.
So, I'm going to mark it. And
Can I just keep looking up and seeing your stupid fucking face?
it's because you suck. And your internet is botchy and freezes all the goddamn time. Alright, I'm going to mark it. Yeah, I think that's everything we have for this particular episode of Pastatime. So thank you to everyone who submitted stories to us from our listener base. We sincerely appreciate you doing that. We'll reach out to you and let you know if we have any constructive criticism, if you've asked for it, which in some cases they do and did for this particular episode. And then shout out to the people who post over there at creepypasta.com. You guys post some really awesome stuff, and it's always really fun reading them, so we appreciate that community as well. If you have a story that you would like to submit to us, or maybe suggest to us a story that we could read at any of those communities, please feel free to reach out to pastatime at scaryish.com. You can also hit us up by going to our website, scaryish.com, and clicking on Contact Us. Fill out that form. It does come directly to us. Sorry. Or you can hit us up on our social medias. Facebook is facebook.com/Scaryish Podcast. Twitter is at Scaryish Pod, and Instagram is at Scaryish Podcast. Robin, for folks who would like to donate, how can they do? Yeah, for folks who would like to donate, how can they do so?
You can go to patreon.com/Scaryish Podcast. Those are monthly donations. Tiers start at $1. At $1, you get ad-free. And this month, I'm mailing out the acrylic charms finally with an extra bonus sticker that I had not previously had in the pipeline for our patrons that are badge of honor and above. So that'll be nice. And then if you're not into the monthly donation type thing, you can also go to ko-fi.com/Scaryish Podcast. And those are one-time donations. All your donations go to helping us keep this show going. Not necessarily on the road, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe one day. You never know. But thank you so much to everyone who listens, everyone who watches live. We appreciate all of you. And yeah, it's everything we got for Pastatime 33. So, Robin, go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.